Good evening. I'd like to call to order our meeting today for the Allegheny County Board of Education, Tuesday, October 14th at 5:02 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. This time, Mr. Llewellyn will read closed session summaries for executive sessions held on September 9th.
The Allegheny County Board of Education met in closed session on September 9th, 2025 at 3 p.m. here at the central office. The purpose of the closed session was to engage in administrative function, discuss personnel matters, and consult with legal counsel. All 5 board members voted unanimously to go into closed session. The topics discussed were appointment of administrative positions and employee arbitration.
Thank you, Mr. Llewellyn. Moving on to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve consent agenda.
Motion by Dr. Bond,
Second.
second by Mrs. Lepley. Any questions or concerns? All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Thank you. Our superintendent's report. First this evening, we have a proclamation to present for School Bus Safety Week. Mrs. Lepley is going to present that to Mr. Mike Matthews. Mr. Matthews here? You guys are too quiet.
All right. So October 20th through the 24th is School Bus Safety Week, Safe Rides and Everyday Heroes. And Maryland student transportation administrators and operators remain diligent and committed to ensuring the safe transportation of nearly 800,000 students on a daily basis. So on behalf of the board, we'd like to thank you for getting our kids to and from school safely.
If I could, just for a moment, I'd like to thank you for recognizing National School Bus Safety Week, and I'll accept this proclamation on behalf of our 150 school bus drivers and aides. Last school year, our buses traveled 1.4 million miles, and that does not include the summer school mileage. Before the sun comes up each morning, and for some it is way before the sun comes up each morning, drivers and aides begin their workday. Some are fairly new to their job. Many are very much the seasoned veteran. They have a number of traits in common, but none are more important than safety-mindedness and dedication. No one drives a bus for 20, 30, or even 40 years or more without having a passion for the job and dedication to Allegheny County Public Schools and its students. We have plenty of dedicated and loyal drivers and aides who work in the heat of the spring and summer and the cold and the snow in the winter. So I'll share this appreciation with them and this proclamation of the daily work that they do. We always let them know just what a great job they do and how much well they're appreciated each day. Secondly, I would like to remind, for those especially watching on the live video feed, I'd like to remind all motorists to stop for any stopped school bus that has its red warning lights flashing. It is state law. The most dangerous time for a school bus is not when it is traveling on the roadway. The most dangerous time is when it is stopped on the roadway, picking up or dropping off students. Our drivers take special care at all bus stops and report any red light run-throughs for our office as they happen, and that information is shared with local law enforcement. Finally, if anyone here or anyone watching the video feed would be interested in joining our team, we would love to hear from you, 301-729-3773. We never have enough school bus drivers. We provide all the training you need, and our trainers will be with you every step or every mile of the way. Again, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Matthews. This time I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Martirano for Principal Appreciation Month.
I'm going to move over here, board members. That's on now. Can you hear me? Board members, the month of October is designated as Principal Appreciation Month. And in my 4 months as superintendent, I have become extremely fond and have great respect for the individuals who lead our schools every day. 22 individuals lead our 8,000 students in our schools, and I am so proud to associate myself with their leadership, their dedication to our staff and our teachers, and our dedication to our young people every day. I also want to acknowledge each one of you individually. I know you are humble servants in terms of our students, and sometimes you are providing the recognition for everyone else within your school. And today I want that opportunity to recognize your leadership and the great work of which you're doing. So when I call your name, I'm going to ask you to come on up and receive a certificate. Our Chief Academic Officer is going to present you with an assignment, a book, in terms of what great principals do, and that'll be part of our book study that we're going to lead throughout our leadership development this year. And I would like everyone right now to give all of them a thunderous round of applause, if you would. Well done. So now I'm going to call your name, and I'm going to ask you to please come up, receive your certificate. And we're going to start with Mr. Scott Bauer. Please come on up. Alleghany High School Principal Scott Bauer. Job well done. Job well done. There you go, sir. Well, there's your certificate. You don't want to move. I mean, I know you move fast, but you know, I heard about that in the school. You're all in every hallway, which is great. Candy Cannon, Fort Hill High School. Give her a round of applause. There you go. Congratulations. Thank you for everything. Danny Carter, Mountain Ridge High School. Give him a round of applause. Richard King, Career Center, with you today. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Nick Amick, our Restart program at Eckert School. There you go, Nick. Job well done. Continue the good work. Eric Van Slyke, one of our newly appointed principals, Braddock Middle School. Give him a round of applause. Chuck Moran, who is not here tonight, but we want to give him a round of applause. Chuck, a round of applause for you and the work you're doing at Washington Middle. Laura Puffenberger, Westmar Middle School. Big round of applause. Laura Holland, Mount Savage Elementary and Middle School. Dr. Holland, come on down. Josh Cook, Bel Air Elementary School. Come on down, Josh. Mitzi Dotson just got some announcement that she couldn't make it tonight. Give her a round of applause. We'll get her certificate to her. Bill Dwyer, Frost Elementary School. Thank you for everything you're doing. There you go, sir. Thank you for everything. Tessa Farrell, come on down. South Penn Elementary School. There's Tessa. The second row's got a long journey. There we go. Thank you. Good to see you. Tim Farrell, Flintstone Elementary. Where's Tim? Is he here tonight? Okay, round of applause for Tim from Flintstone. Shannon Green, Georges Creek Elementary School. Come on down.
Not tonight, but next time.
Good to see you. Jill Hartsfield, West Side Elementary. Come on down, Jill. Derek Horn, Westernport Elementary School. Come on down, Derek. Scott Llewellyn, Cressuptown Elementary School. Round of applause for Scott. Heather Morgan, John Humbert Elementary School. Come on down, Heather. Shannon Ralston, Bell Elementary. Come on down, Shannon. Scott Sisler, Cache Valley Elementary. Come on down, Scott. Good to see you. And last but not least, Tracy Wharton, Parkside Elementary School. And I think we got everybody one more time a thunderous round of applause for this auspicious group. And thank you for everything during the Principal Appreciation Month. Thank you so much.
It's hard to beat that enthusiasm, so I'm just going to say thank you all for what you do. We appreciate all the work you put into our school system. I told Mr. Llewellyn, I felt like when he was doing that, it was like on college football when they're like, linebacker, the Ohio State. So
Hey, I'll do that.
that was fun. Thank you. Any other board members' comments? I don't want to cut anybody off. Okay. I think you're welcome to move on if you want to, or you can stay for the rest of our business, but you have a second if you wish to leave. We won't mind the interruption. Then if we can have Dr. Main and Sean and Jill Ferdiska next for a Special Education Citizens Advisory Committee update. If Dr. Main's in the hallway, will somebody please send her in?
Great. Hello, is this on already? Okay. I'm Jill Ferdiska, and I'm the chair of the Allegheny County Special Education Citizens Advisory Committee, which we call CCAC. I'm also the parent of a student receiving services from special education in Allegheny County. Okay. So we're here for our annual presentation to introduce you to CCAC and also to give away our Shining Star Awards for the 2025 year. The CCAC mission is to provide information to develop knowledge, attitudes, and skills needed by families, educators, other professionals, and community members to enable individuals with disabilities to have the maximum opportunity to become fully participating members of their home, school, work, and community. Our vision is to facilitate communication and collaboration between families, educators, administrators, and community leaders to enhance services available for students with disabilities and advocate for positive changes in special education services within the Allegheny County Public School System. The membership guidelines, which they're not very strict, but we don't have very many members, so please feel free to join. You must live or work in Allegheny County and can include parents or guardians of students with special needs and requirements, persons with special knowledge or interest concerning special education, students with special education needs and requirements, local special education support or advocacy groups, teachers, staff, and administrators with an interest in special education. So we meet virtually once a quarter. Although it became virtual once we started with COVID, we've not changed back from meeting virtually, but we are looking into maybe if we go back to meeting in person, if we would have more response. If you're interested, or there's a survey that they sent out, so you can email Tanya Dietrich Grove. She could send you that survey, and that's asking about meeting times. Here are our dates for our planned dates for the 2025-2026 school year. And we've already met in September. We have 3 remaining: December, March, and June. Usually the first or second Monday of the month. Second, I believe. You can also follow us on Facebook at Allegheny County Special Education Citizens Advisory Committee for updates. Okay, so now for our favorite part of the presentation. This is our third year giving out awards. We give out 2 elementary, 2 middle, and 2 high school awards each year. And this is really to showcase some of the really great things that are happening in special education in Allegheny County Public Schools. So we started it to just get the good news out there, and it's really been well received. So this year we had 62 responses. We send a survey out every May, and we ask for nominations, and it can be for anybody. It doesn't have to be a special education provider. It can be, we've given them to bus drivers, we've given them to speech pathologists, a lot of different people have been awarded over the years. We received this year 62 responses. We send the surveys to staff for Allegheny County Public Schools and also to parents of students in the special education receiving services. So this year we chose 6 winners, and we had a group of about 6 of us that voted on them, and it was really great to read all of the responses. So First up, I would like to recognize our first shining star in elementary school is Miss Lisa Rowan from Mount Savage School. She's an instructional assistant. She was nominated by a peer who had this to say about her. As an educational support professional, Lisa Rowan brings a deep commitment to understanding and responding to the individual needs of each student. She proactively anticipates challenges before they arise, ensuring that the student feels supported and understood in every step of their academic and emotional journey. By working closely with the student to identify their triggers and sensitivities, she creates a safe and trusting environment that fosters personal growth and learning. Her approach is rooted in empathy and encouragement, carefully choosing words that motivate and inspire her student to engage with their tasks, even when they feel overwhelmed or discouraged. She takes pride in reframing academic and behavioral challenges into opportunities for success, tailoring strategies to help her student thrive not just academically, but also in their social and emotional development. Her goal is always to empower her student to see their own potential and build the confidence to achieve it. For this, we recognize Lisa Rowan as the 2025 CCAC Shining Star.
I love my job. My school's amazing.
Thank you. Next up for the second elementary school winner is Mr. Blake Hill from Cache Valley Elementary, special education teacher. Mr. Hill was nominated by his peers and a parent. They had this to say about him. Blake is always calm and collected. He is a great resource for new teachers and is always willing to provide ideas and share materials with teachers in need. Blake is always willing to listen to his peers, provide feedback, and has even allowed me to observe his class for ideas. The kids respond to him well. His previous students love to visit, and he always has a positive outlook. And then a parent had this to say about him. Mr. Hill took my son, who is level 2 autistic, from not speaking at all to speaking some and counting to 20 and singing his ABCs. The huge leap my son has made could not be possible without the patience and attentiveness Mr. Hill shows in the classroom. For this reason, we recognize Mr. Hill, Blake Hill, as a 2025 CCAC Shining Star. Now we're on to the middle school award winners. First up is Miss Melanie Stavanis from Braddock Middle School, special education teacher. She was nominated by a parent. Melanie is not only an outstanding special educator, but also an advocate for all of her students. She is empathetic and works to individually meet the needs of her students. She is passionate about her work and goes above and beyond to help each student continue to progress. She is an outstanding communicator and works well with families to find solutions to work in school and at home. She is present at all school activities, having fun with the kids and supporting them outside of the classroom. She is a kind and caring and everything that a parent could hope for in a teacher working with their child. She thinks outside the box and is creative in her approach to continue daily learning and to foster a love of school. She is a blessing to all students she works with at Braddock Middle School. For this, we recognize Ms. Melanie Stavanis as the 2025 CCAC Shining Star. Our second middle school award winner is Fiona Perosis, Washington Middle School school psychologist. She was nominated by several peers, but this one comment had it all in it. Dr. Perosis is one of the most empathetic, outstanding, and truly devoted educational professionals who seeks to assist all students, staff, paraprofessionals, bus drivers, cafeteria workers, everyone alike. She is outstanding. Fiona works tirelessly to advocate for all children, to go miles beyond expectations to ensure success of programs, students, and her peers. Fiona deserves the world, but especially recognition for the thankless and oftentimes overlooked manner in which she commands herself and seeks achievement beyond the boundaries that are required. Her depth of knowledge, character, spirit of enthusiasm, and true commitment is rarely seen systemically. Fiona never wavers. She never meets a challenge or obstacle that is too difficult. Her positivity and strength are effervescent, as is her firmness, command of her occupation, skill set, and students and staff she works with. Fiona is a beautiful blend of structure and form, as well as kindness and care. She truly embodies what we all should and could strive for. For this, we recognize Fiona Perosis as a 2025 CCAC Shining Star.
Okay, we get high fives.
And finally, for our 2 high school award winners. First up, we have Miss Holly Itzo, Mountain Ridge High School special education teacher. She was nominated by several of her peers. They had this to say about her. Holly Itzo has always worked hard to provide for any student in need, even students not on her caseload. She has developed many positive relationships and provided services to help them with their academic challenges and frustrations that arise from academic or peer relationship issues. Ms. Itzo frequently stays after school to provide tutoring for students and coaches bocce ball. Additionally, she attends events to support her students and to encourage them. Her consistent, positive, and caring attitude towards students, as well as her effective communication of both positive news and necessary academic or behavioral information to parents and guardians about their students, is what makes her an asset to the school. Another peer said, Ms. Itzo is amazing at motivating students and keeping students on track with their IEPs and goals associated within the IEP. She not only successfully gets students to utilize their modifications and accommodations, she allows students to grow and improve, no matter how minuscule it is. These students leave her as better people, and she encourages peers to work together in order to help students with IEPs reach success. For this, we recognize Ms. Holly Itzo as a 2025 CCAC Shining Star. Okay, and finally, last but not least, we're recognizing Mr. Raymond McCoy from the Restart program, a special education teacher. He was nominated by his peers, who had this to say about him. Mr. McCoy has more patience than most teachers would. He works hard to relate to students on their level and to keep them calm, to help them understand and to learn. He deserves recognition for his hard work. Ray consistently goes above and beyond, not only for the students on his caseload, but also for others throughout the building. He takes the time to get to know each student's interests and uses those insights to create meaningful, personalized rewards when a student achieves a goal that they set together. Ray tracks student data and uses this information to help support students and show their progress that they have made. Ray also makes a point to regularly check in with teachers to ask if there's anything he can do to better support students in the classroom. Working at Restart presents the unique challenge of an ever-changing caseload. Ray often has to start fresh with new students throughout the year, quickly learning what strategies and supports work best for each individual. He handles this incredibly well, all while managing his caseload, teaching both middle school and high school classes, and being a truly valuable and collaborative team member. For this, we recognize Mr. Raymond McCoy as a 2025 CCAC Shining Star. And that concludes our presentation. Thanks for letting us present these awards tonight.
And I would also just like to say very quickly that I would be remiss if I didn't thank Jill and her shy husband, Sean, for always being a friend of special ed and for really facilitating this wonderful award and raising up our staff. So it is truly educators like you just met that make days like this great. So
Thank you.
So thank you.
It's our pleasure.
I don't want to keep everyone here longer, but I do want to say I wasn't yet on the board, but last year I came and saw the same presentation, I guess, which was year 2. And I'm always so struck by how beautiful the words that parents and peers use to describe all of our special education staff, IAs, and it's just beautiful. And I can only imagine if we heard firsthand from these students the impact that you have on their lives. I mean, it is really touching as a parent, as somebody that's, worked through IEPs and stuff like that. I know all the work that you guys do. I can't say enough. I think all of us are so thankful for helping some of the most vulnerable children in our system be successful. So thank you so much for the work that you do. It means so much to us. And if we could award every single one of you, I think we would. So thank you. Seriously.
Okay, thank you all very much. We have an instructional update up next from Mr. Clark and Dr. Van Slyke for outdoor school.
Good afternoon, President Bender, Vice President Lepley, rest of our board members, Dr. Moderano. I'm excited to be here. There's my slideshow. Thank you. Looks like I'm first. That answers that question. So I'm really excited to be here. I'm Dan Clark. I'm Supervisor of Federal Programs. That's the official title. But I'm really excited. I'm blessed, and I say that with true sincerity, blessed to have been able to supervise the outdoor school program for ACPS. It's been a great experience. So I'm excited to share some of the great things that are happening up there. We're wrapping up this week. Kids are up there right now. I would have loved to have brought along some of the staff members that we have up there. I say this wholeheartedly, they were built for outdoor school. The staff that we have up there are doing a fantastic job. Next slide, please. Just want to start with a little bit of history. The outdoor school program for ACPS is very rich in its own history, but also the site that we use in Garrett County, the 4-H camp. That 4-H camp was constructed as part of FDR's Works Progress administration back in the 30s. So it's quite a historical project. The dam was constructed there. It's a 12-acre dam, Cunningham Dam. It was built using the American chestnuts that came on site. They actually built a sawmill. So I learned a lot of this at outdoor school. So I did listen when I went up there and heard some of the speakers. The guys have fantastic knowledge, and so I'll introduce you to some of the staff later in the slides. But so I didn't bring all this knowledge with me, but I learned that they actually built the sawmill on site to build the 22 cabins and the lodge up there out of the American chestnut, which, if you don't know, is functionally extinct. So meaning that they can no longer reproduce. Some sprout under the underforest of live roots and whatnot, but they just get snuffed out from the canopy overhead. So the American chestnut is functionally extinct, and yet those cabins still stand. And it was built using the chestnuts that were on site because the founders saw the value in that wood. It's very rot resistant. The blight that wiped out that tree came over in 1904, supposedly from a Japanese chestnut, and it wiped out the American chestnut. And scientists have not yet been able to bring it back to the point to where it's resistant to the blight. So outdoor school, our outdoor school program was started by John Jack Elliott in '65. The first group of students that went up there, they were from 3 schools. They were 6th graders that went up. It was from Bell, Johnson Heights, and Westernport elementary schools. And from then it just kind of blossomed. Ken Hodgson took over as camp director in '67 and developed a lot of great memories. He was a bird man. And so I remember when I was at outdoor school, and maybe some of you, if you're Allegheny County natives, got to experience outdoor school in the 6th grade back when I was in elementary school. So in '85 I went, and I remember Mr. Hodgson as well. Now I know later in the slide in here you'll see that Mr. Hodgson actually retired in '82, but he came back to do the bird banding and the bird nets and whatnot even while I was still there. But in the late '80s, I don't know exactly what year it was, but it was the late '80s, early '90s, outdoor school took a pause. Ken Hodgson retired, kind of gave it up, and so on. And in 2008, Dr. Fred Sloan was a member of our board, and he was very determined to bring outdoor school back to ACPS, and along with Mike McGowan, our supervisor, who most recently supervised outdoor school up until his retirement this spring, when luckily I was handed this. They created it and brought it back in 2008, and it's been longstanding ever since. Since its inception, we've had over 21,000 students attend. I don't have an exact roster on that, but that goes all the way back to the 60s, so there's been a lot of students who have benefited from outdoor school. Next slide, please. Currently, 554 fifth grade students were enrolled this school year from all 14 of our elementary schools. We had a very successful program, and you'll see throughout here lots of interesting pictures. Our students stay 4 nights, 5 days. They go up on Monday morning, arrive there typically about 9 o'clock, 9:30 from their respective schools. Luggage comes up in a separate truck. Kids come in on the buses. They don't have any luggage with them. It's great because they come in with very inquiring minds, very curious faces as they pull up to the lodge. Around-the-clock camping, 24/7. They live in the log cabins that were built back in the 30s, of course. They enjoy a hot breakfast, lunch, and dinner each of the days. The food is delicious. It's actually, I had a son that went. He was up there last week. I have another 6th grade boy who was up last year. They both have commented on the quality of the food. So they're hoping we can bring that to our cafeterias. But it's very good stuff. Our students participate in the lowering of the American flag and the raising of the American flag every day. They learn how to fold the flag. A lot of ritualistic type things like that you just don't necessarily get in the classroom every day. Next slide, please. What do they learn? Generally, they learn outdoorsy things. Of course, the hidden curriculum is probably much more rich than the written curriculum with what they're learning up there as far as living with strangers, making new friends, the social aspect of things, but also the written curriculum, the water cycle, conservation of our resources, natural resources, orienteering, using a compass and a map, but also a GPS, the weather, erosion, soil, wetlands, wildlife, trees and plants, and dissection of owl pellets. Now, I know that sounds a little gross, but it's actually extremely interesting. They are given a sheet that has really all the things that they may find, such as rodent skulls, rodent lower jaws, rodent ribs, etc. And they match those things up, and I was very surprised. I thought, what are the odds that we're going to find a rodent jaw in this owl pellet? And as I am observing, these sheets are filled with just that, and they're perfectly matched. So it's really, really interesting. Our staff, I know that's quite a small picture, but that's our exciting staff. They're a great group. Daryl Spence is our camp director, better known as Mr. Canoe. So who thought that you could get away with a group of 5th graders being called Mr. Canoe? We also have Champ Zumbrin, Francis Zumbrin. He is the man in the yellow hat on the right. So he is Mr. Banana. And so the kids, they love it. Carson Reinhardt is up there as well. He is Mr. Moose. And then we have Riley Beeman, Sam Reckert, Cambria Snyder, and Kaylin O'Brien, who Kaylin has, they're all new staff, by the way. Riley, Sam, Cambria, and Kaylin are new to our outdoor school staff this year. And as I said, they were built for it. I interviewed Sam Reckert down here, and the first thing he noticed coming up the board steps, he said, "Look at that bagworm." And I was like, "What's a bagworm?" So he explained it all to me. And so later in the interview, I said, "You had me at bagworm." So the activities that they do on top of the curriculum, they take 2-hour hikes to the bog. The bog claims lots of boots. We don't leave any there. Of course, leave no trace is one of the lessons. So we ensure that boots are all reclaimed. The swamp, the beaver dam, the nature hike, They go canoeing, they go kayaking, they go fishing. A lot of kids get really nervous about canoeing and kayaking as soon as we mention it, and we tell them that's an option. You don't have to do this. You can do this. And then as soon as they start seeing how that works, generally everybody gets to have a chance. They interact with live animals, rabbits, rats, hamsters, frogs, fish, toads, snakes. Just a quick funny story. Try not to keep everybody here too long, but I went into the nature center, closed-in classroom up there, one of the very few. There was a mouse in a hamster wheel just rolling around all through there. Kids come spilling in, they file in, the instructor is getting ready, and he steps sideways and he kicks that wheel, and it rolls like extremely fast across the room, breaks open, the mouse is out, and a parent didn't miss a beat. Picked the thing up, stuffed it right back in there, done, took care of that. So it was just lots of excitement. There's always lots of excitement at outdoor school. And so, I was a principal for 18 years. And so I go up there and visit outdoor school every year to see my kids. And I call them my kids, but to see the students. And I thought I knew outdoor school, but I didn't. I didn't know outdoor school until I really lived it like this. I attended, as I said, back in the 6th grade, and I still didn't see it through this lens. So I really appreciate the opportunity, and we're super proud of it. Campfires, movie nights in the evenings. Mr. Whitehead, one of our math specialists in the system, he's also an excellent musician, goes up and plays for our students. Mind-body skills, and of course the highlight of the week, the skit night, where kids put together a skit. And we had to kind of tweak that a little bit, and some of the kids were like, what's a skit? We said, well, a TikTok. You need to make a TikTok. So that got them going. That got their interest. So next slide, please. Picture's worth 1,000 words, what students, chaperones do at outdoor school. And then finally, our last slide, we're super proud of it. I want to also say, we had a great addition this year as well. I said a lot, I talked really fast, but we also had a Gaga ball pit donated by an anonymous donor, and it sits up on the field. It's a portable pit, so it's not, it doesn't belong to 4-H camp, belongs to ACPS now, so the donor wanted that to belong to our outdoor school. And, Gaga balls, I was introduced to it several years ago at camp. We like to camp as a family. My boys are still young, and they got introduced to it. And it's kind of like the safe version of dodgeball, so to say. So you're in an octagon, and you can only bat the ball with your hand. Has to hit you below the knees. If it hits you below the knees, you're out. If somebody catches it, the person that hit the ball is out. It's a really safe alternative to dodgeball, and the kids love it. They really do love it. So it's Champ Zumbern, Mr. Banana, has been the official of Gaga Ball. He oversees that, and he has done a great job with that as well. So thank you for hearing me.
Well, I don't know how I'm going to follow that. Mine's a little bit shorter than that. I've been a little bit busy lately. So you can see my title there says, on the front slide says Secondary Science Supervisor, STEM Supervisor. That's, as of today, apparently the artist formerly known as the Secondary Science Supervisor. So now Principal of Braddock. So I'm going to give you a little breakdown of our outdoor programs. We have outdoor field trips along with outdoor school for 7th grade. So in 6th grade, all of our 6th grade students go to the Evergreen Heritage Center in Mount Savage. They do a water and weather and climate lesson that they do that Evergreen has adapted to the Open Sci-Ed curriculum that we use in the middle schools. So every time we change curriculum, Evergreen changes their field trip for us. And it's a very good program that they do. In 7th grade, our students go to Rocky Gap for 2 days. And we have the Alice Ferguson Foundation, which is a company down in Accokeek, Maryland. They hire staff, they come up and they teach the Bridging the Watershed lessons to our students for 2 days at Rocky Gap. That's a commuter event, so the students go during the day and come back to school and go home in the evening. And then on Fridays, they do a Talking Trash event with our students at the school. So they talk about sustainability and, the amount of trash they create and things like that in the schoolyard. So that's the outdoor school. That's tied to our student service learning. So students get service learning for the outdoor school program. In 8th grade, all of our students once again go to Evergreen, and they have an invasive species lesson there that they do, which also ties into the curriculum in 8th grade. In 9th grade, we again use the Evergreen Heritage Center. They're one of our very good partners, and they do, for earth science, students that take earth science in high school, all of them go there to talk about what lies beneath, so rocks and minerals and water underneath the ground. Our AP environmental classes go out to Rocky Gap for 1 day, again using the Alice Ferguson Foundation staff, and they'll do one of the Bridging the Watershed
lessons more in depth in high school. So that's tied to the AP environmental science course. And then Evergreen comes into our chemistry and matter and energy classes in the high school for 2 days, and they talk about fertilizer and water testing at our school. So they actually come and teach within our school programs. So those are some of our outdoor school programs. And then in the spring, the last Wednesday in April, I invite any of you that want to come to Rocky Gap. We do the Envirothon every year. They're going to do training on November 5th here coming up at Evergreen. And the students compete in that event. They go through the soils, the wildlife, soils, forestry, the 5th issue, which I'm not sure what that is this year. And I'm missing one. I forget the last one. Water chemistry, I think, is what it is. And so they compete with that, and the winning team then goes on to the state competition, which has moved around. Last year it was at Garrett College, or Garrett at the 4-H Center, where we send our students up in Garrett County. And then we've had the top 3 in the state at Allegany the last couple of years. They've done really well at that competition. So a lot of fun. We feed them hot dogs and hamburgers and chips and soda, so the kids have a great day and eat a lot that day as well. So just to break down the number of students, so this year we had 608 students in 6th grade, 579 in 7th, 610 in 8th, 579 in earth science classes, 555 students in chemistry and matter and energy, and then about 50 to 60 students are involved in the Envirothon every year, totaling about 3,000 students. So almost half of our population are involved in the outdoor school programs. The last thing I want to mention is our green school program. Pretty proud of this. We started out with 1 green school, when I started as a science supervisor. Allegany was a green school. Now all of our secondary schools are green. And Mount Savage got certified last year, first elementary school to get certified last year. So we're expanding that program here in Allegany County as well. So I think that's it. Any questions on that?
Any questions for Dr. Van Slyke or Mr. Clark? Okay,
All right.
great job, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes, absolutely.
I just wanted to say regarding the Evergreen Heritage Center, I loved learning about the water. Everything water is my favorite. And about the outdoor school, I remember 5th grade was like the last before COVID-19. And so I can vouch, the food was absolutely phenomenal. Oh my goodness. Don't even get me started. It was wonderful. I loved canoeing. I love all things nature. In my generation, when we're so stuck in our phones, we can forget that there's a beautiful world around us and so many things out there to learn. And so I'm just so glad that it's back again. And everything that I remember that you guys were speaking about is still there. That's just amazing to me. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Simpson, we've kept you busy lately. You're up again.
I was going to say, I think I'm getting frequent flyer miles or something, but no, it's nice to be with you all. And just to introduce the public and everything, I am the Supervisor of Assessments and Accountability. My name is Trina Simpson. Brief this evening, small update, but I did want to bring you up to speed on some newly adopted guidelines and business rules that the Maryland State Department of Education has rolled out concerning college and career readiness. So college and career readiness, just to give an overview, it is the standard that we signify that prepares graduates for success in college and the workforce by ensuring they have the knowledge and skills to complete entry-level credit-bearing college courses and work in high-wage and high-demand industries. Meeting the standard enables students to enter post-CCR pathways that builds on the student's strengths, develops a career and technical education system that's aligned with the industry's needs, and ensures that pre-K through 12 curriculum standards and assessments are all aligned. So before moving forward, a few years ago when CCR was implemented, it was very raw as far as it was only MCAP scores. Students had to score proficient on the math and the English in high school in order to be deemed CCR. We know based on some of even the statewide scores, that was not happening for a lot mostly due to the math scores, and it wasn't the only, there shouldn't be one factor that deems students if they are college or career ready. We had at that time many students going on very successfully that were not deemed CCR at that time. So the next thing that rolled in was they said, well, in addition to scoring proficient on the math and ELA, we will also look at the student's GPA, and if they have a 3.0 or higher GPA at the end of grade 10, and they've earned a C or higher in Algebra 1, that deems them CCR. We had many more students last year that were deemed CCR status because of the 3.0 and what we call math mastery. At that point, though, if they were not meeting through the 3.0 math mastery, that was the easier pathway than completing proficiency on both of the MCAPs. And it still seemed like it was a very stifled pathway. It wasn't open to lots of opportunities and what we were seeing as different strengths of the students. And so there was a committee, there was lots of input, and I'm happy to report that the state did come up with a lot of other optional pathways. One at this point that you can see on the screen at this point is, so they are first deemed at the end of their 10th grade. We look at that. Sometimes students would come to 9th grade, 10th grade. We know they do not have the maturity level sometimes as they, progress through their high school career. They also might have had hardships or something happened personally in 9th or 10th grade, and yet that cumulative unweighted GPA was sticking with them. One thing that I'm very happy to see that the State Department has done is students could be off track, and we always encourage them that they have opportunity to get back on track. And so what they're going to do at this point is they are going to look at a 1-year standalone GPA. So if the student can get back on track and back on board, say they're 11th or 12th grade, they now have a 3.0 GPA that year, and they have earned an A, B, or C in any high school math course, not just the Algebra 1. We will deem them CCR at that point. Next slide. In addition to that, there's numerous options here now. So I'll run through, they are the main ones, but also they will be deemed CCR if they have 2 dual enrollment or dual credit courses of a C or higher. One of them must be a math course, and the other one can be a course in ELA science or social studies. Another option would be 2 AP or IB assessment courses of a 3 or higher on AP, 4 or higher on the IB. One of the assessments, again, must be math. The other one can be an ELA science or social studies. The option that was really on the table with MSDE for quite a while, and I was surprised to see it passed, but it does signify readiness, is the CCR benchmark of SAT, PSAT, and ACT. An SAT score of 480 in reading and writing and a 530 in math would be CCR. PSAT or PSA 10 of a 480 in reading and math and 480 in reading and writing, but the 530 in math. And the ACT test of an 18 plus in English and the 22 in math. In addition to those, and those can be at any time in high school. Some other pathways, maybe less popular, but still in all, if it offers someone the option. They can score at target on math and ELA on their DLM alt assessments. These are assessments for students with IEPs. And the next one is a silver or better on the ACT Work Keys assessment, a state-approved industry-recognized credential. If they complete the high school level of a registered apprenticeship, or if they earn a score of 50 or better on the ASVAB. Some questions to answer before I see if you have any questions. First of all, once a student is deemed college and career ready, we do not ever take that back away from them. The designation status cannot be revoked. This applies even if the student's GPA decreases below the threshold the following year. We're not going to give it, take it away, give it, take. We're not going to toggle back and forth with that. Also, the student's GPA is calculated at the end of grade 10 for the very first time of looking at this, but then it can be looked at the end of any semester after that. It doesn't have to be the end of a year, but it does only include final transcripts. So just to give a little explanation to that, it can be looked at the end of semester 1, but that would only include semester 1 courses that actually went on their transcript. So partway through the year in a full year course doesn't count towards that GPA. And while components of CCR are part of the state's report card, these different pieces are, CCR status itself does not make up any points on the report card itself. So those were some questions I've had within the school system already, speaking to supervisors and the principals, administrators. So I thought I would include those before I see if you have any additional questions.
I have a few follow-up questions.
Mr.
Could you
Green.
remind me what the percent our goal we have at the system-wide level of graduates with CCR? Is it 65 or something? Am I remembering that?
We are currently at this last year at around 56.
Mm-hmm.
And when we would implement this new, then I'll be glad to update you with what that will jump to.
Yeah.
I do think that we'll also be able to encourage the students with more pathways that they feel are doable. At the current time, under the old standards, we only really had about 56% CCR.
And that was they'd expanded CCR standards a little bit.
Just
even
to
in the
those
last
first
year.
two.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you.
They had included the 3.0 GPA with Sierra Higher Math Mastery, but those first two on the slide presentation were the only ones included in
Got it.
that data.
Understood.
Any other questions for Ms. Simpson?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll see you next month.
Okay, moving on to public comment. We didn't have anyone signed up to speak. Is there anyone we may have missed? Okay. Moving on to new business, I will turn it over to Mr. Llewellyn for first reading of bullying, harassment, and intimidation policy.
So we have 3 policies under new business. You're going to see that each of these policies, the changes that are being recommended by policy committee are consistent. Matter of fact, the language is almost identical in every instance. What we want to convey, or what's being suggested be conveyed, is that when filing a complaint with the school system, whether it be a bullying, harassment, intimidation complaint, a staff complaint, or a general complaint to the school system, that the Board of Ed is going to be committed to being responsive to those complaints, and that the failure to correctly fill out a complaint form is not going to be a reason to avoid resolving or responding to that complaint. And so I'm presenting that to you, all 3, because it's the same. If you look at the 3 policies, the same language is being added in each instance. So happy to answer any questions for you on these, but otherwise, policy committee recommends you pass all of them on first reading.
Okay, is there a motion to approve policy file JBA?
Motion to approve file JBA, bullying, harassment, or intimidation.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments for Mr. Llewellyn or anything regarding the policy? Okay, all those in favor? Passes unanimously. Thank you. We will move then on, so you don't need mic again. Need a motion regarding file GBN staff complaints.
Motion to approve file GBN, staff complaints.
Motion by Mrs. Lepley,
Second.
second by Mrs. Widmeyer. Any questions regarding this one? Again, standard language. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. And third, file KE, responding to inquiries and complaints from the general public. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve file KE.
Motion by Mr. Green, second.
Second.
Dr. Bond, any questions? All in favor? Passes unanimously again. Thank you. Okay, moving on to special reports. Miss Israel, do you have anything for us this evening?
When don't I not?
That's a good thing.
Thank you. Hi, guys. Okay, it's my turn. So we have school highlights for now. It's the Career Center. The Career Center, currently Skills USA, it's in full swing. I am happy to announce that I serve as president for Skills USA regarding the 2025 to 2026 school year. October 3rd, Career Center held their school-wide picnic with Chick-fil-A, fresh lemonade, and games to raise money for the club. It was all free. It was wonderful. It was great. Yes, it was great. In terms of Skills USA, we're looking forward to November 6th and 7th when we have our trip to Ocean City. We are going to go meet the other technical schools statewide, attend general meetings there, and more. The American Red Cross blood drive regarding Career Center will be October 24th. I remember I said this previously, hosted by the Academy of Health Professions at the Career Center. I wanted to speak on Braddock Middle School because for the first time in 20 years, about 2 weeks ago, Braddock Middle School football won against Washington Middle School, both D1 and D2. D1, I know, go Big Blue. D1 scored 39-8, and then D2 scored 50-0. I'm not good at football at all. In fact, I got in trouble by the cheerleading coaches because I was screaming too much, and I didn't know what I was screaming about. So they were like, shh, and I was like, I'm sorry. So I had to go sit down at the pews, but at the benches. I'm taking us to church. And the KC report, October 23rd, will be our first countywide General Assembly. I'm so excited. We have reported about 160 students will be attending this assembly, which is why Ms. Kara Kennel, the advisor for this, always tells us to overplan because we did not expect that at all for that amount of numbers. But I was like, that is a blessing. That is such a blessing. We're hoping for Dr. Martorano, the superintendent. He's going to be present, and Mr. Max Green. We're eager to see you both there. I myself will also be present, so I'm excited. Very, very excited. I wanted to present to you guys a very small rough draft of my SMOB long-term impact plan. Basically what I'm trying to do to help as being part of the Board of Education as a student member. I call it the Student Voice Initiative. I want to say Matthew Hunt was my very first audience, and he's very close to me. I'm very close friends with him. And he said, and I quote, "Bruh, you have to mention me on there." And I said, okay. So he was very, very kind. I love him for that. I want to understand the motto for this impact plan that I have is, we are not the future, we are the now, and that every voice matters. I want basically with this entire thing this impact plan of mine, I want this position that I have to be more than a title or something nice that I can throw on my resume. I want it to actually mean something. I want it to hold weight, which is why I wanted to come up with something that I can do with the position that I hold to help others around me, the students around me, who I'm to be a liaison to. My goal ultimately is to double the amount of student leaders, I'm so sorry, Ms. Kara Kennel, to double the amount of student leaders who attend these AKC meetings between all 8 student councils throughout ACPS, and to plant a seed within the elementary students so that a student voice when they reach middle school isn't something that's new, but it's something that's normal. My why are 3 reasons, which is legacy, representation, and real change. Can any of you please raise your hand if you were in student council when you were in school? Great. And look at that. And please keep them up if student council is a reason that you're on the board today. One of the reasons. And look at that. almost half of the Board of Education was impacted by Student Council, and that's what I want to show and just emphasize with Student Council. I said that every student is a leader, and it only takes one voice of a student to beautifully shift the leadership in education in a way that no one else could. I said that Student Council, we are the most direct way for students to influence the board, and I just plan to amplify that channel countywide. My how, because I gave you my goal and my why, and now my how is our first ACPS General Assembly. It will allow me to gather the information of the Student Council presidents of all 8 of them, and their advisors and their principals. I'm so glad that we had this today because now I know all of them. I was so glad. I want to provide a county-wide communication network with all of the principals, not the principals, the presidents. I'm nervous if we can't tell. The presidents of the student councils. So we have a county-wide network and that we can constantly be in communication. This will give me more solid reports to bring to you all that I have from literally the entire county. I want to encourage us to meet once a month virtually that we can talk about student issues, successes, or needs, actually giving me real reports when I come and I speak to you guys. My second semester regarding the elementary schools, I was hoping to visit some of them, taking 30 to 45 minutes of their time with little leadership lessons, asking fun questions such as if you were principal for a day, what would you change? And to share those quotes with you guys on the Board of Education, something fun and communicative and intimate with the younger generation. And just because, there's no student council there with them, like I said, I want it to be something for them that when they come to middle school, it's something that's normal, that we've talked about this when we were already in elementary school. Ultimately, I just want to plant a seed within them that their voices matter and that we are listening. And most importantly, the last thing I had was I just don't want to speak for the students, but I want to give them tools so that they can speak for themselves. And that was all I had.
I feel like that deserves a little round of applause. Great job. I would say you're already on track to fulfilling your plan that you've set for yourself. That's very impressive. You're welcome. Any other board member updates, comments?
Just one quick update. We'll have our first meeting of the school year for the Allegany County Local Advisory Council for Career and Technical Education. That'll be on Tuesday, October 21st. I won't be able to attend because we have a MAVE statewide conference that a few of us will be going to, but did want to share, during that we'll have Carpenters Local 423, Ironworkers Local 568, and a representative from National Jet sharing their feedback to the council, as well as an update on the MET program from Jennifer Light. So look forward to anybody that can attend that. Great way to get involved with local career and workforce development.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Anyone else? Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay, thank you all. Have a good evening.